Well, hello once again. I am Marvinetta Woodley Penn, and my guest and taking over host for the show is.
My name is Madison Mosley, and I can't wait to take over.
Excuse me. So she is going to take over some of the show tonight. We are Global Girls TV. We're very happy to be here. I think this is like this is maybe our fifth week in this series so far, and we've been talking about the law of attraction. We've been talking about the 4 agreements. We've been talking about bringing into your life what you want to make your life absolutely amazing. So this is a live interactive call-in show on CAN TV, and you can also watch us at CanTV /hotline, cantv.org/hotline. So if you're out and about and you still want to get us, you still want to get CAN TV, you still want to get Global Girl TV, you can always go on because we're live streaming. And most importantly, you can call in because it is not a ball if you don't call. Please call us at 312-738-1060. Again, that's 312-738-1060. So Madison, I'm so happy to have you here. She just went through her training today. And so we're throwing her right in and letting her swim. Let her get used to it right away. So Madison, what do you think about being here with us?
This is a new experience for me, so I'm very happy to be here and try this out. It's always good to try new things, so
yes,
I can't wait.
Is. Great answer, great answer. See, this is how we raise our young people up in Global Girls. Well, Madison came to us a star, and we just helped her blossom a little bit more. And that's what we want, because we believe that all of our young people are stars just waiting to be discovered. Yes. Teachers, when you go back into that classroom in September after Labor Day, if you could walk into your classroom and say, this is my laboratory. This is my, not just my classroom, but this is my laboratory where every day I'm going to come in and I'm going to look for things. I'm going to stay curious about my students. I'm going to say what worked today. And then I'm going to go home at night and think about, or I'm going to go to lunch and I'm going to think about what worked in this class or this hour that I can take into the next hour. Because we're all works in progress. We are simply a work in progress, getting better and better and better every day. Yes. What do you think about that, Madison?
Yeah, I think if some teachers have that mindset, the classroom will go much more smoothly. And if all teachers could be more positive as you and have that thought, then we all would think that every day. And go through every day.
Wouldn't it be awesome? It would be awesome. And I think that we can do it. I think that we just get so bogged down. We get so bogged down with paperwork, and we get so bogged down with the way things have been. And we fail to realize that change is necessary. Change is essential. Change is a wonderful thing if we embrace change and we start looking for what we want. We look for those things that we want. And that's kind of what we did in Global Girls this summer. Can you just talk a little bit for those people who might be tuning in for the first time, seeing Global Girls, seeing the old and now the new coming in? Yay! They might be wondering, what is this Global Girl thing? Can you tell them a little bit about this?
Okay, so Global Girls is a performing arts organization creating and presenting socially conscious youth-driven theater, which we have done over our summer camp. We did dancing, acting, and a little bit of singing here and there. And we just taught our girls to have an open mindset, the law of attraction, and how to go through every day by using our law.
The Global Girl Law.
The Global Girl Law.
The Global Girl Law. And I think it'd be great for us to just say some of those lines.
Yes.
Yeah, why not? I promise myself to be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person I meet, to make all my friends feel that there is something in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make my optimism come true, to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best, to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times, and give every living creature I meet a smile, to give so much time to the improvements of myself that I have no time to criticize others, to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the pressure of trouble. My attitude is my life. That's what we say every day, in every session, every time we meet one another. And I got that. One day while I was still teaching, because I used to be a school teacher, a public school teacher, and I went to a club. Went out to the club, and it was a steppers group, and I'm going to think of that name in a minute. But a guy there, he saw me and we started talking, and I told him I was a teacher, and he was like, "Here, I'm going to give you this," and he gave me a copy of that. And I was like, this is so cool. So I had all of my students always remember that was their first assignment, and they had to stand in front of the class, had to memorize it in a week, stand in front of the class and recite it. So that was always their first grade. Then when I started Global Girls, it's like, okay, this is going to be a huge part of who we are and what we do. And it has been incredible. What do you think about the law?
I think of the law as long as I've been in Global Girls now for almost 3 years. I start to use it more and more every day through my everyday words, thoughts, and actions, just like the line says. And I think about how my attitude can affect others, and what I'm doing can affect others too. So I always think that before I do something, make that action.
Okay, very good. Isn't she wonderful? You're going to have a great time with her.
Yes.
We have another guest coming on, but he hasn't gotten here yet. But I want you guys, in case, come on, call us. If you have comments, concerns, because we want to talk about the need. Last week, I talked about the needs for arts education in our public schools. And later on, their crew, they're called the Dream Team in 2016. That's what they're calling themselves, the Dream Team in 2016. They're going to talk about charter schools versus public schools.
Yep.
I have a bone to pick, and I don't know about you guys out there in TV land, but I'm going to throw this out. I used to be a public school teacher, and I grew up in East St. Louis, and I went to public schools. I taught in public schools. Public schools are amazing. I have a bone to pick with charter schools, because charter schools, and I know you go to a charter school.
No, I go to a public school.
You go to a public school. Excellent. Charter schools drain the best young people in our public schools, and then they leave the rest of the young people behind. And that is not a good situation to have. You need a diverse group of young people in any school, in any classroom. You're going to have that bell-shaped curve. So you're going to have the people on one end who might not do so well, for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't get the training that they should have gotten when they were younger. And then you're going to have a lot of people in the middle, and then you're going to have a few who are really, really, really smart. So you need those really, really, really smart to encourage those who are in the middle. And then they can encourage the ones who are on the end and the other end of the spectrum. But what charter schools do is take all of those at this extreme and then leave everybody else here. And then they expect public schools to work miracles with that group when you don't have that percentage over here that you need in order to hold up those others. The parents who normally, it's the parents who put their children into charter schools because they want a better education for their children in those schools. And I applaud you for wanting something better for your students. If you took the same energies to those public schools and you put the same pressure on the public schools to give you results, you'd have better public schools. You'd have much better public schools, and you wouldn't have strangers coming into your community who know nothing about your community, who are not going to give you arts programs, who are not going to give you necessarily all of the things that a public school can give you. You have them coming in and making a lot of money and not being held to the same standards that public schools are held to. So if you disagree with that, please give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. 312-738-1060. I have seen so many charter schools pop up in our communities, and then they take away those students from the public schools, and the public schools have to close down because they don't have enough students. They don't have students. Where have these students gone? Still have the same number of students. They're going to the charter schools. And I've been in some charter schools. The things I have seen have blown my mind. The things I have seen with my own 2 eyes in some of these charter schools, I would not accept as a teacher in a public school. Let me know what you think. There's always room for disagreement. What do you think about that?
Well, me going to a public school, I go to a CPS school. I have noticed that, particularly in my school, we're having another new principal, so a lot of our special activities are being cut, and our teachers are being cut. So it's just kind of hard to always have a new staff all the time that you don't know, always seeing a new person. Now we have a new principal, so it's difficult to kind of reconnect with that principal. We don't know any background about the principal, and I feel as a student we don't get to choose or kind of fill them out who we want to have in our school and we want to run with. So, and our budget is so low, we can't do other things that the charter schools are able to do. So it's kind of hard. The charter schools, and then it's the select enrollment schools, and there are all these categories for schools when every school should have the same resources. But so much of the school funding formula is based on the number of attendance, the number of students you have, and the number of attendance days for those students. You get so much money per day, per student. That's why schools want to have their attendance up. Plus, you want your attendance to be good because you can't learn anything if you're not in school. I'm there. I guess every show I'm talking about education because I know that education is our only hope for our future. But before we get further into that, I want to go back to the Global Girl Method. Something happens with our young people when they come and they're really a part of Global Girls. So after we have a caller, we're going to take that caller, but I want to get Madison's view on how we educate our young people as opposed to what happens in a lot of school classrooms. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Hello, you all are doing such a good job, Global Girls.
Thank you.
Hi.
My name is Brittany Gall. I'm from the Southeast Side. And just was listening to your conversation about the charters and public schools. And I agree with you both, actually, that how they're funding schools is a bit unequal when you consider that, like you were saying, how much of our schools are funded on our property taxes and on things that are not really quantifiable. And I think that just to draw it back to that property tax conversation, how we really need to impress upon our youth the importance of returning back to the neighborhood and not just escaping, that us paying taxes in our neighborhood, us working in our communities, us rebranding our own schools and our own neighborhoods from what they're telling us. Our schools aren't bad. 2 + 2 is 4 everywhere. And so when we remember that, then we can actually take back what is ours, and that's our neighborhoods, that's our youth, that's our minds, that's our money. It's all connected. And you make such a good point, ladies. Like, we have to focus on how are our schools being funded, how are we using that funding, and what ways can we start redirecting tax dollars, redirecting citizens back into our communities to start funding the next level, the true rebirth of Black America.
Thank you.
You all have a good night, ladies. I look forward to hearing your responses.
Thank you so much for that call. Property taxes, they help fund our school, and then there's set asides in the state budget, and with all of the problems that we had with getting a budget, and we still don't have a full budget passed in the state. It has wreaked havoc on our schools, and we as citizens have got to go out to the polls and vote, and we've got to vote for people who have our best interests at heart. But the main thing is, I'm a property owner. I own my home. When I bought my home years ago, my family said, "Why are you buying your home on the south side? Why don't you go out to the suburbs? Why are you buying this house here?" So I says, because I love where I live. I love the South Side. The South Side is absolutely amazing. Beautiful homes, beautiful people, excellent communities with wholesome values. You'd be surprised at the communities who are there. And if the best of us leave the rest of us, it leaves us with absolutely nothing. We have got to come home, Chicago. We got to come home, and we have to reclaim our communities, like the caller said. And not just reclaim our communities, but invest in our communities. I'm going to spend my money with the local cleaners. I'm going to spend my money, even though I might not get my clothes quite as clean. But I'm going to tell them, you need to do this again. Because I'm going to hold them up, and I'm going to help them up, so that we can all grow up together and become a community that works and strives together. Now, if we have some charter schools who are willing to work with those public schools and do the absolute best they can, then that's fine. But I just don't see that happening enough. And I think we need to return some of those strong students back to our public schools so that they can help raise those test scores, and so that they can be role models for those other young people. That's what we do in Global Girls. We don't separate the kids by talent. No, you're really talented. You go in there and you lead a group so that you can get everybody up to speed. We have the little kids. They may be 4 and 5 years old. They're dancing right alongside Madison. They're dancing right alongside the 16-year-old, because we know that we have to show them the way, let them make their mistakes so that they can grow up and we can build up together. Madison, I'm tired of talking. Your show.
Yes. As Ms. Penn was saying, in Global Girls, we do work with the younger girls, and say it's a really strong person. We will take the people that are there. Everyone is strong in Global Girls, but we'll take them and we'll work with them, and then we'll all collaborate and come together. It's not separation of who's better, who's the best, who can dance, who can't dance, or who can act or do something else better than the other person. We all work together as a team, and that's why we're such as a family. And a lot of people don't have that. We all know we don't have like a family in school, especially with our teachers, but in Global Girls we have a family where we can all work together with each other, come to each other, support each other, and that's why Global Girls works out so well with each other.
And when I was in school, we had families. Our schools were families. I know it was eons ago, but when I was teaching, I tried to recreate that family, that family feeling in my classroom. And especially when I was in school, my principal cared about us. He would be in the hall talking to us, helping us. You got a problem? Is everything okay? You got a frown on your face today. Is everything okay? And he set the standard. He set that standard. Then all of the counselors followed his lead. All of the teachers followed his lead. So it was all like a little city within a city. And our school had that spirit, that pride. We wanted everybody to do well. And that's how it is in Global Girls. And I know that if our schools became really, really family, we would have amazing schools. Our young people, oh my goodness.
Amazing.
Our young people are so amazing. Tell them about some of those stories we had this summer.
They are so amazing. From our babies and up. They are just wonderful. Our babies, they're just shaking it, doing their thing. They're acting like the older girls because they want to be so much like us. They just have that spark, and it's just great to have someone in your life you can look up to, like a mentor, like we have in Global Girls. The younger girls look up to us, and we look up to the older teaching artists. So it's just a great feeling to have that. Because we don't have that in school. We don't have a family. We just go to school, do what we need to do, get our grades so we can move on.
And if we had the arts, I think that the arts play a huge role because, you know, when you're dancing, you have to get out there and do your thing. And it's not about competition.
It's not.
It's not really about competition, but it's everybody trying to be their absolute personal best. Come on, give us a call. Get in on this conversation. 312-738-1060. Tell us about how you made it through school. Were you in any arts programs that helped you get through? And I just want to show you one more time where we are in case you forget. You might want to call us later on. You might want to visit the website. You might want to email us. You might not want to talk online, but you can always call us at 773-902-2359. And I just found out that we just only have a few minutes left, but I want to show you a couple of things that I am so impressed with. We have a website that I think is just phenomenal.
Amazing.
It is just amazing. And if you go to our website, you can see all kinds of things about the Global Girls. There's a video with our wonderful Miss Ryan. We have a video where we're teaching in our organization. We have another video because we were American Graduate Champions on Channel 11. You might have seen this video, and some of that was taken last summer. Some of those young people came back to our summer camp, and they are amazing. And that is yours truly when I was in Grenada talking about our trip to Grenada. And then we have Miss Talisha. She was a young girl over there in the left-hand corner. She was a young lady then, and now she's a big girl now. And then we have our newsletter following up on our trip to Grenada. So we have a lot of things going on our website, and we really do invite you to visit that website. And that's www.globalgirlsinc.org. So we want you to please go to our website and check us out. And we have someone very, very special who is joining us now. I am so happy that in our last few minutes, he was able to make it. And this very, very special person is Mr. Oba Williams King. Oba, we have about 4 minutes left, so
Yay!
Tell us. Give us a little something before you go on.
We do this educational entertainment program, and our favorite theme song is called I Love My People. And it's very important that we use those 4 little words. And we start to have it like an earworm when we wake up in the morning. I love my people. But you could start small.
Yes.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my sister, my brother.
Yes.
And then as you walk along the way going to school, I love the flowers. I love the trees. Because it's going to be love that puts that spirit and energy inside your heart. So I'm really happy that you had me come say I love my people.
Yes, and let's just sing a little bit.
I love my people. I love my people. I love my people.
I love my people.
My people are strong from the cradle to the grave.
I love my people.
They couldn't break us down because we were so brave.
I love my people.
We kept our pride throughout the years.
I love my people.
Work hard, prayed, even shed some tears.
I love my people.
No matter what the world has put us through,
I love my people.
we come out on top in everything we do.
I love my people.
Everybody say, I love my people. I love my
people.
Say it again.
I love my people. I love my people.
So we're working with the young people with early childhood through about 3rd grade. That's our primary focus. Singing songs, nursery rhymes, using the Kiswahili language, teaching our children that our heritage is based on the history of Africa. But we open our arms to everyone. One of the first words I like to teach the children is akwaba, welcome.
Yes.
With our arms wide open, we can face this world.
Akwaba.
Akwaba, welcome.
Yes.
And once we begin that, we start to put the numbers in rhythm, snapping our fingers and clapping our hands. And we can just count the numbers. Just think, if you have little tiny people at home, you want to count your numbers, you know. And we
and
say
this is our
in the
takeaway.
Kiswahili language, we
And
say
this is our takeaway.
moja,
Moja,
imbili,
imbili,
tatu,
tatu,
inne,
inne,
tano,
tano,
sita,
sita,
saba,
saba,
nane,
nane,
tisa,
tisa,
kumi.
kumi.
Those are the numbers 1 through 10 in Kiswahili language.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we need that because we are people of the water. And people of the water have a rhythm. We have a flow. And we must honor that and we must keep that as we leave you. I want you to think about keeping that rhythm, keeping that flow until we see you next time. Next week, we're going to have Mr. Oba Williams King back.
Yes.
Take that with you and good night and have a good evening.
Love.
Bye-bye.